You're watching Coin TV, Channel 6, Portland, Vancouver.
Lost in space, NASA engineers try everything on Earth to make contact with the Mars observer. It's the ultimate power cruise as the Clintons set sail with the Kennedys. And Eye on America, tonight, single with children. The debate over forcing welfare mothers to work.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. Dan has the night off. This was supposed to be a night of triumph for the U.S. space program. The first U.S. spacecraft to explore Mars in 17 years should be in orbit around the red planet tonight. Instead, NASA is facing the possibility of another expensive and embarrassing failure. Correspondent Jim Stewart is tracking the latest in the Martian Chronicles.
It was the most ambitious space probe ever directed at Mars.
2, 1, and liftoff of the Titan III rocket with the Mars observer and America's return to the red planet.
But late this afternoon, NASA said it had done all it could to reestablish contact with its billion-dollar space probe, which after an 11-month voyage that had scientists tingling with anticipation, has gone silent. The failure leaves NASA scientists to hope the spacecraft's computer will automatically correct itself and save the mission, but today it had to answer the most embarrassing of questions.
Are you confident that the spacecraft exists?
I'm confident the spacecraft exists. The question is it in the right orientation, and will those engines perform the right change in speed?
Translation, they think it's still up there, only it's not talking or showing any signs of taking messages, meaning there's no way of knowing whether the probe will reverse thrust its engines, like it was supposed to today, and loop into a low orbit around Mars. If it doesn't, then chances are it's lost in space.
I think if they lose this mission, it's a devastating setback. At the very least, they'd have a hard time explaining to Congress how they monitor quality control across their subcontractors. And I think it'd be very difficult to ask for more money for big projects when so many spacecraft that cost so much money keep having so many problems.
It has been a rough month for America's space program. First, a billion-dollar spy satellite blew up. Then a weather satellite built to track storms and floods went into orbit as scheduled, but this week developed a fatal short circuit. Some wonder if NASA is overreaching.
I don't believe we're getting beyond our technological capability. We have established some very tough goals for ourselves in the space program. If they were easy to meet, anybody could meet them.
Reaching Mars was a tough goal and a very tough disappointment for NASA. This is the mission that was supposed to have measured the red planet and tested its atmosphere, hopefully mapping the way for man himself to one day visit Mars. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
The Pentagon confirmed today that 400 Army Rangers are going to Somalia to beef up U.S. forces there. But a spokeswoman said it is not a change in U.S. policy. National security correspondent David Martin, who broke this story last night, has more on the Rangers' mission.
Ever since December, when a CBS News camera captured two missile-like objects streaking by a pair of Navy F-14s flying low over Mogadishu, the Pentagon has been worried someone in Somalia might have anti-aircraft missiles. Now there is new intelligence. Renegade warlord Mohammed Aidid has gotten his hands on shoulder-fired missiles that could shoot down the transport planes carrying 400 U.S. Army Rangers into Somalia. That's why reporters were kept well away from the Rangers at Fort Benning, Georgia, and why the Pentagon is giving out very little information about what the new troops will do.
These troops will provide the added capability to help restore security in South Mogadishu. The level of violence in South Mogadishu is unacceptable.
The 4,000 American troops already in Somalia have suffered a number of killed and wounded from bombs believed set off by forces loyal to Aidid. The Pentagon won't admit it officially, but the elite, fast-moving Rangers are being sent in to improve the chances of getting Aidid.
We're going to have to put some special troops in to achieve our immediate objectives, getting rid of Aidid and some of his lieutenants, and then we can get out.
But sending in more troops seems to some like a funny way of getting out.
And many of us thought the job was nearly complete, and we expected an announcement that more Americans would be coming home, not that there'd be further troop commitments.
No one knows how long the Rangers will have to remain in Somalia. That depends in part on what happens to Aidid. But Pentagon officials say even if the Rangers succeed in getting Aidid, that will by no means solve all the problems of Somalia.
David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
President Clinton spent another day vacationing on Martha's Vineyard, reportedly using part of his downtime to consider future foreign and domestic policy. But as correspondent Eric Engberg reports, Mr. Clinton also took time out today to bask in the political past and revisit the Kennedy years.
For an unabashed worshiper of the JFK mystique like President Clinton, today's trip of the yacht Relomar must have seemed like a happy, politically useful voyage backward to Camelot. There was the glamour of the Kennedys. Hostess Jacqueline Onassis and daughter Caroline shared a private moment while awaiting the first family. Senator Ted Kennedy extended a hearty welcome, and they socialized on the bridge before setting off. There was the beauty of the Massachusetts coastline, which evoked memories of another president, one who sailed his own boats. And there was the elegance of a beautiful yacht slicing through the waves in perfect weather. It was a long way from Little Rock. After 6 days of vineyard vacation, the president has fooled Clinton watchers by doing no government business and not missing it a bit. Scholars say presidents need to escape the tyranny of their schedules, even if they don't know it.
His youth and his vigor and the fact that he's still new at it, I'm sure he enjoys a lot of that pace and being whisked from one thing to another. But it takes a toll, too. And it's good to see him. I rejoice to see him relax here.
The first vacationer's chill out has manifested itself in a wardrobe that ranges from golf course garish to boutique-colored resort wear to mismatched jogging togs to jeans and cowboy boots. He's so intent on relaxation, he's barely mingled with everyday voters, wading into crowds just 3 times since he got here, partying only with the island's elite establishment.
The president's aides say he wants to give his brain a rest, to take a look at where he's been and where he wants to go. There are so many political goals that he's set for himself. This may be the last vacation he takes for a long time. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Martha's Vineyard.
Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, cracks in Saddam's power grip. 2 of his ambassadors decide to jump ship. And Michael Jackson on tour and under investigation as police probe allegations of child abuse and extortion.
The idea for our new Dow plant was simple. If we don't cause water pollution, there'll be no need to clean up water pollution. So Dow employed advanced technology that completely recycles the water we use within the plant instead of sending it back to the river. No one made us do it. We just did it. Is this kind of pollution prevention important for our future? I've got a couple of reasons that say yes, it is.
Dow lets you do great things.
What if some things were guaranteed to take 29 minutes or less, like putting your kid to bed, blind dates, the last 2 minutes of a football game? Well, a Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus Oil Change is guaranteed to take 29 minutes or less, or the next one's free. Try us for a change.
Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with Fibercon? Doctor-recommended Fibercon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy to swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended Fibercon.
Responding to a plea from the UN, the U.S. Air Force tonight is launching an emergency airdrop of food to the city of Mostar in Bosnia. The airdrops have begun. 55,000 Muslims are trapped in Mostar under attack by Croatian forces. UN peacekeepers say the Muslims have only a few days' supply of food left. A UN ground convoy was set to move in today, but then was blocked by Croat forces demanding more concessions. The Croats want to make Mostar the capital of their part of a divided Bosnia. 2 high-ranking Iraqi diplomats defected to the West today. Enemies of Saddam Hussein call it a major victory. And once again, they are predicting the demise of the dictator. Senior European correspondent Tom Fenton has more.
The 2 Iraqi ambassadors surfaced in London in a blaze of publicity. They're the highest-level defectors to join the Iraqi opposition since the Gulf War.
Today, Iraq suffers from a reign of terror and misery unprecedented in its long history.
In what seemed like a frightening nightmare, it destroyed a once strong and prosperous country, leaving it morally and financially bankrupt.
Both are Sunni Muslims, the group that formed Saddam Hussein's power base. Their defection is a serious embarrassment to the regime. It comes on top of reports of an aborted coup earlier this month by several hundred military officers. They were also Sunni Muslims. Ambassador al-Shawi, who was once Saddam's presidential chief of staff, hinted at his real reason for defecting in an interview with CBS News.
Well, the whole regime is cracking. It's trying to give always a misleading impression of being in control. But I think the circle is getting smaller and smaller.
In other words, the ambassadors look as if they're trying to save their own skins.
Suddenly, because they have no moral scruples, they discovered that the ship was sinking and they wanted to get out when they still had a chance.
Western intelligence agencies will want to talk with them, but they're unlikely to have detailed knowledge of military secrets. They've been away from Iraq for years. Their usefulness is more symbolic. Other Iraqi officials may now be encouraged to defect. Tom Fenton, CBS News, London.
A U.S. official said today the Clinton administration is planning to impose limited trade sanctions against China for exporting nuclear technology to Pakistan. China denies it. Trade sanctions could kill millions of dollars in high-technology trade between the U.S. and China. High-profile mediators joined the talks in Nicaragua today, trying to end the hostage-grabbing duel between left-wing Sandinistas and right-wing former Contras. Nicaragua's Roman Catholic cardinal offered to talk to the Contras. Meanwhile, in Managua, former President Daniel Ortega joined the talks with leftist gunmen, and they released 3 more hostages. Each side now holds about 15 captives, including prominent politicians from the government and the opposition. Stay with us for much more CBS Evening News, including Eye on America. Tonight, single mothers on welfare. Should they be required to work?
Put traction into action because Goodyear traction is on sale now. Save on selected Goodyear Eagle Performance tires, selected Goodyear Wranglers for light trucks and vans, and save on every all-season Goodyear Aqua Tread. Save now at Goodyear.
Some people are fussy about their mouth, and some people are very fussy. For them, there's Rembrandt, the low abrasion whitening toothpaste. Over 50,000 dentists have recommended it. And Rembrandt Mouth Refreshing Rinse. 100% alcohol-free, 100% delicious. A splendid way to fight bad breath. For the best for your mouth, there's only one Rembrandt.
2 a.m., 36 Pine Street. Apartment 4C has a backache and can't sleep. 3C overdid her afternoon workout and is paying the price. 2C had an aching back, but fortunately she also has Tylenol PM gel caps with extra strength Tylenol pain reliever, plus a gentle ingredient to help her sleep. And a good night's sleep was all she needed to make her day a whole lot brighter. Tylenol PM, so you can rest easy.
Now Malox comes in a brand new flavor. Water. Introducing new easy-to-swallow Malox Caplets, the antacid that doesn't taste like one.
Come along on a summer vacation. You can still get your kicks on Route 66, an all-new 48 Hours Wednesday.
There is more than the usual hype and hoopla around one of the world's best-known pop stars tonight. Michael Jackson is at the center of a criminal investigation. But as correspondent Sandra Hughes reports, it's unclear whether Jackson is the alleged perpetrator or the alleged victim.
While Michael Jackson took to the stage in Bangkok today, back at home, his status as a pop icon is taking a beating. Rumors swirled around Hollywood after 2 of Jackson's homes were searched over the weekend by Los Angeles police. Police sources confirm allegations of child abuse are being investigated.
It's very important that we're very careful on how we proceed in the investigation.
Jackson's private investigator says the allegations followed a blackmail attempt.
Many people try to extort Michael because of who he is and, the amount of money he has, and these people wanted $20 million.
The man who hobnobs with presidents and keeps company with Hollywood's elite today denied the allegations through his attorney.
There was no wrongdoing on my part.
The irony in all of this is that Michael Jackson has been known for his kindness toward children. He discussed this in his February ABC interview with Oprah Winfrey.
We'll have like 100 bald-headed children here who they all have cancer. And they're running around and they're enjoying themselves, and it just makes me cry happy tears that I was able to do that for them.
And that's why this allegation is even more preposterous and also even more hurtful to Michael and his family, which is really, dysfunctional enough, I mean.
So silly, it's sickening.
In the ranch community where Jackson lives, his fans are standing by him.
He's a quiet, gentle person that's just trying to do some good in the world.
The LAPD refuses to disclose details of the search warrant, so just what they were looking for in Jackson's homes remains as mysterious tonight as the superstar himself. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A judge in Minnesota today dismissed a rape and paternity suit against veteran U.S. Senator David Durenberger. A Minnesota woman claims that 30 years ago, Durenberger raped her and fathered her child. Durenberger denies it, and blood tests indicate he was not the father. Now from around the world, more CBS News. In Indiana, a funeral for Amy Lakeberg, the infant who died during surgery to separate her from her twin sister. Angela remains in critical but stable condition. Residents of South Florida prayed today for continuing recovery from Hurricane Andrew on this first anniversary of the killer storm. Another storm formed today far out over the Atlantic. Tropical storm Dennis is far from any populated areas, so it's not much of a threat right now. The threat of a nationwide Amtrak strike at midnight is over. A federal judge in Washington has barred rail workers from striking in a dispute over who operates trains in maintenance yards. And this was the scene in Monroe, Washington, after a freight train jumped the tracks. No injuries reported, but area residents were evacuated as a precaution because the train was carrying toxic chemicals. Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, beefing up firepower for cops on the front line.
Oh, guys, my commercial. Listen. Wheat Thins from Nabisco. So much wheat, so smart to eat. Intelligent crackers. Wheat Thins pack a ton of hearty taste into a little snack that's smart to eat.
See, that's smart.
With a big crunch baked through it.
Sounds very snackable.
You are deliciously correct, oh maternal one. Wheat Thins, the smart little snack that's big on taste. You couldn't have said it better yourself. Zap!
Relieve teething pain fast with alcohol-free Baby Anbesol. It works on contact. No matter how big your problem is. Baby Anbesol, now in new grape flavor, too.
He breaks into the clear. Cuts left. Cuts right. Look at him go. He's down the sideline. Wait. I don't believe it. He's reversing his field.
Glidden presents the NFL Super Sale. Your chance to save on quality Glidden paints. Formulated to cover the first time, so you can finish in less time.
And that's the game, folks. I'm telling you, what a game.
The NFL Super Sale. Glidden, a better way to paint.
Chicken to remember begins with apricot preserves from Smucker's, a taste you'll never forget. Jams are naturally fat-free, under 20 calories per teaspoon. Chicken never tasted so good. With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Why your 401k plan may be more attractive than ever, and a new 90s look for good old Tupperware.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
Rodney King was charged in Los Angeles today with drunken driving. He was arrested last Saturday after crashing a truck into a wall. King was ordered to enter a live-in alcohol rehab program tomorrow, or he could wind up back in prison. This is King's fourth run-in with the law since he was beaten by L.A. police 2 years ago. Here in New York City, the police are getting a new weapon. As correspondent Giselle Fernandez reports, it's an attempt to even up the odds in the war against criminals.
New York City Police, the nation's largest force, is about to turn in its standard .38 caliber handguns. Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly admits cops on the beat need a faster weapon.
We have speed loaders, but even so, it takes significantly longer than it does with an automatic.
After years of resistance, the force soon will switch to 9mm semi-automatics.
It has a greater ammunition capacity in the gun initially, and also you can reload much more quickly.
The question is, will the increased firepower serve as a deterrent on the streets?
I think the reality on the streets in the 1990s is that, yes, it will. Criminals are aware of the weaponry that police officers have, and I think it will have a positive psychological effect for the police officers.
Officers who confront an arsenal of weapons like these. New York City for years resisted the switch, saying the 9mm were too dangerous to innocent bystanders. New studies show that's not so, and cops on the beat say it's long overdue.
You know, the people tend to see us with it, and might be a little more respect than we might have had before.
A lot more, say police in cities like Miami, who made the switch 5 years ago.
The officers are now more confident that they will be able to protect themselves and not be at a disadvantage.
Please stop! And this may be the future. Other New York cops, those assigned to patrol the subways, now are testing a state-of-the-art gun that fires a laser beam on suspects. A Star Wars on crime. Reality is forcing police to raise the stakes to fight crime. But critics warn unless there are stricter gun control laws, the bad guys will keep trying to outarm the good guys. And the urban arms race will just continue to escalate. Giselle Fernandez, CBS News, New York.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Yeah, I love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say...
You could give your kids a bologna made from less than 100% pure beef or one with fillers. The question is, why would you?
'Cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-A.
Mary Clary thinks her zipper bags are the best and will never switch to Gladlock zipper bags.
That's right, never.
But, Mary Clary, what do you say we lock you in this phone booth here with either your bag filled with angry bees or a Gladlock bag filled with angry bees? You see that green color change seal there, Mary? That shows you the Gladlock bag is closed. Your bag doesn't have a green seal.
You know, change is good. I'll take the Gladlock zipper bag.
Just kidding, Mary. When it really counts, only Gladlock has the yellow and blue make green seal.
More tea, Daddy?
Sure, honey. Fill her up. A short while ago, Mike Ward had a headache, but he couldn't postpone his tea party with one of the town's best hostesses, so he took a Motrin IB. The same medicine as in the Motrin doctors have prescribed for years, but in non-prescription strength. And now that his headache's gone, he can concentrate on the things that really matter.
Good tea, huh, Daddy?
It's excellent tea, Becky. Excellent. Motrin IB, the relief of Motrin in non-prescription strength.
Attention heartburn sufferers.
If antacids work, why do I keep getting heartburn?
You know, frequent heartburn may be a sign of a more serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor? Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with FiberCon? Doctor-recommended FiberCon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy to swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended FiberCon.
Healthcare reform is getting the attention right now, but President Clinton is also working on an overhaul of welfare. His people have begun a series of public hearings, and one key question they'll have to answer is whether single mothers on welfare should be required to work. That's tonight's Eye on America, reported by correspondent Anthony Mason.
Bobby, call me when you get home, Mom.
They live on the outskirts of Baltimore. Sherry Palmer, a single mother with 2 children, who's on welfare.
I'd love to be working and supporting them by myself, not welfare. But right now, I have to take care of my girls.
And Telsha Palmer, a working mother with a 2-year-old girl, determined to make it without welfare.
I'd like to stay home and raise my daughter, but I can't. I can't afford to.
2 struggling parents caught up in a national debate about welfare reform, working mothers, and how we should raise our children. Health and Human Services Secretary Donna Shalala has a new philosophy.
The people ought to get up in the morning and go to work and not be subsidized to stay home.
Like Telsha Palmer, the majority of mothers with small children in America now work. And if the administration gets its way, Sherry Palmer will be working too.
It's providing a kind of fairness so that we're not subsidizing one group of women to stay out of the workforce while another group is in the workforce.
But for poor kids already at risk, taking their mothers out of the home while the children are still little could have dire consequences. Professor Frances Fox Piven.
If they are made to leave those kids and to go out and take a job cleaning offices or flipping burgers, I don't think they're being made to do a job that is more useful not only to them, but to the rest of us, because we're going to live with their children.
Welfare doesn't pay Sherry Palmer much for taking care of 4-year-old Victoria and 2-year-old Jeanette.
They just raised my check to $321, and my food stamps were $277 a month.
Sherry would like to work, but with only a 9th grade education, she's unlikely to find a job that would cover her child care costs or the health insurance that welfare now provides.
So it seems like you don't really have a choice.
Not right now, I don't know. I mean, if Prince Charming would come along, you know? I get up, and I work, and so can they. So can they.
Every morning, Telsha Palmer, who's been separated off and on from her husband, takes her daughter Ian to her mother's house.
Okay, bye, honey.
Telsha works as a phone sales rep.
MCI is offering some great services.
While Telsha is making sales calls,
Say hello.
her mother and sisters are watching Ian. But her mother has her own job, and in the fall, her sisters go back to school.
If I become realistic, I become depressed. And I said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You don't have anywhere to send her.
Telsha used to send Ian to this daycare center, but it cost her almost half her take-home pay.
It was averaging out over $500 a month.
Good girl! She's not alone. For poor working parents, child care eats up, on average, a quarter of their income. For many, it's almost not worth working. Telsha asked for some kind of child care assistance, but was refused.
It's like a double standard. You don't want people on welfare, but then you don't want to help anybody that wants to help themselves.
But to end that double standard, to get welfare mothers into the workforce will not be easy.
The estimates are that it will cost $50 billion to provide child care, training, and a decent income in the workforce.
And it still may not be fair.
We're so aggravated, so frustrated, and so daggone tired. We're on welfare, but we're taking care of our kids. I'll keep working. I'll struggle, but I'm hoping that it'll get better. It'll pay off. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
For Eye on America, I'm Anthony Mason in Baltimore, Maryland.
And that's our news. Coming up tomorrow on CBS This Morning, breakfast cereal, Snap, Crackle, and price increases. I'm Connie Chung in New York. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us. For Dan Rather and all of us at CBS News, good night.